it's time for the Smash Those Small Pads collaboration. So let's smash this partial Lost and Found pad by My Mind's Eye and see how many cards we can get from it. Hey, it's Beth, welcome. It is time for the Smash Those Small Pads collaboration. It's just a collaboration I do with my friend Sarah, who's crafting and relaxing here on YouTube, and Kathy, who is Stampin' Cat over on Instagram. Each month we pick a pad smaller than 12 by 12 and try and work our way through it. This month I'm working on the Lost and Found pad by My Mind's Eye. It is an older pad and it originally had 24 sheets, but I thrifted this in a bag of other 6x6 pads from Goodwill a few years ago. This is actually from 2011, and I'm pretty sure I have some 12 by 12 size papers left from this as well. But so originally it came from Hobby Lobby, but like I said, I got it in a bag that I thrifted from Goodwill, and there are only 16 sheets left in this. So I am going to smash this pad this month, and I'm going to use some of my No Scraps sketch sets to do that. So I thought I'd share with you a little bit of my planning here. So there are 16 sheets left, and each one of my No Scraps sketch sets tells you how many sheets of paper you'll need, and then the corresponding number of cards that will make. So you will need cardstock for card bases, but as far as I'm just trying to calculate which sketches will use up these 16 sheets pretty quickly and efficiently. So sketch 3 I chose. It uses 4 sheets. And then there are several papers that have some bigger images on them, like in one corner or another. And so I picked out sketches 9 and 10 because they have a larger section that you cut in the cutting guide. So sketch 9 uses 2 sheets, so there's 6. Sketch 10 also uses 2 sheets, so there's 8. And then I thought sketch 4 would work as well, because even if you have a scene, it would be kind of cool to have kind of like in a grid format, like with some space in between it. So I think we're at 12. Wait, no. Where were we? 4, 6, 8. Yeah, so this makes 12 because it uses 4 sheets. And then sketch 5, I thought would just be an easy one to use, and it uses 4 sheets as well. So that is my 16 sheets. So these are the sketches that I'm going to be using, and I will try and go through the process with you in the video to show you how I cut down the papers and make the cards. These are double-sided, which helps as far as mixing and matching patterns for the sketches. And then this is a very vintage style paper, so I went through and pulled out some embellishments. I really have no idea what I'm going to use yet. It kind of all depends on the card I'm making, but I pulled these out thinking I could start there and try and use some of that up as well. So that is my plan. So let's transition and get into the fun part of the card making. So the first thing that I am going to do is sort out my papers per sketch. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I just want to make sure that each sketch has, or each sketch set has a mix of like patterns and tones. If I don't do this process, I find I get down to the last sketch set and I have like 2 of the same, like 2 light tone papers or 2 of the same type of pattern or something. I don't know. So I just find that it helps me to kind of pre-plan this out. So the actual steps that I take to make these cards: first, I pick out the sketches that I want based on the number of pages that I have in the pad. I sort the papers according, like I sort out the papers for each sketch. The third step is to cut down all of the papers and to keep those pieces with the PDF for those sketches. Fourth, I assemble the cards, putting the pieces together for all the cards. 5th, I planned the embellishments that I was going to use for each card. And then 6th was that I actually came in and added those embellishments. So in total, this process from start to finish was just under 2 hours. So from the time I picked out my sketches until and then like all of the card assembly was just under 2 hours. What I didn't record and what's not in that time is the hour it took me to decide how I wanted to embellish the cards. So like a third of the time of creating all 30 of these cards was literally trying to figure out how I wanted to embellish them. So if you're working with a collection that has cut-aparts or stickers or some kind of embellishment that goes with it, you could really knock this out in maybe 2.5 hours. So that's the point, one of the points of my sketch sets. The sketch sets are to help you work through your papers quickly and efficiently and get you a good number of cards without a lot of stress, without a lot of fuss. So my sketch sets, the sketches, like I've said before, can be kind of basic, but they are basic so that you can make them what you need them to be. You can keep them simple and you can make them as elaborate as you want. So I've shown you a range in all of my sketches, the videos, like I show you a range that you can add as many embellishments as you want. You can add the layers and the mats and everything. Or if you just need to get the paper on the card, then you can keep it that way as well. I try to give you some freedom. And these sketch sets, I feel, are good for both the beginner crafters and the advanced crafters, because as a beginner, I give you the cutting guide and the card sketches, and you could make a card without a whole lot of other product. But as an advanced crafter, if you're someone like me who has a lot of paper that you need to work through, or maybe you're doing a lot of card donations and you need to make a lot of cards quickly, then these sketch sets are also good for you as well. So that's kind of why I've created these. I've created them to help me kind of work through my papers, because, one of the reasons I started this channel is I had so much paper that I couldn't fit it in all of my storage. So that's my soapbox, PSA, whatever, for why I have the no scrap sketch sets. And again, you can add the matting layers. There is a sketch set. I think I don't remember the number of the sketch set, but I actually give you the cutting guide for the pattern paper and the cardstock so that you have no scraps left from either of those. So the rest of my sketch sets are just for pattern paper, and if you use cardstock to mat, you will have scraps. So in this particular process and on these cards, I pulled out, just to keep it simple, some black cardstock to use as my card mats on several of the sketches. And then I do bring in some of this cardstock that I had left over to mat certain pieces. So like here, I'm just matting that rectangular focal element in the center so that it really pops out. So, and I do have scraps left over, and I end up using those on the inside of cards. Some of the sketches leave some scraps left over for you to use on the inside, but some of them didn't on the ones I've used. And so I used some of that black cardstock to fill in where I didn't have any pattern paper scraps. So that's another way that you can use up some of the scraps. So after all my talking, we are to the point where we are now in the card assembly. And again, I'm not embellishing, I'm just kind of making the base of the cards here. And then once I get all of the cards made, I kind of have a feel for what I'm going to need. That's when I sit down with the embellishments and try and figure out what I want to use. And I probably could have done it quicker. It could have been less than that hour, but I showed you kind of that stash of embellishments that I had, the vintage antique kind that I had pulled out of my stash and was hoping to use some of those. I did get to use a few of them. I used some rub-ons, and then I ended up using, I finished off like they're metal tag looking stickers, but they're just stickers. There's not like any 3D feel to them. They're like just cardstock stickers that look like metal tags. I did end up using that, a whole, whatever I had left on the sheet of that, only because I had used it on one of the cards, and then I had a few of them left, and I'm like, all right, this card needs something else anyway, so we're just gonna finish these off. So had I just kind of not felt like I needed to use up those embellishments, and then just kind of waited until I made all the cards and kind of got a feel for what I could use, it would have gone a lot quicker. And also I was trying to use sentiments that I already had printed out, and so I kind of made it harder on myself in that realm too. Finally, I ended up just stamping some new sentiments, and it kind of went quicker from that point. So do as I say, not as I do. Maybe don't get locked in on the embellishments that you think you're going to use on the card until you get the cards assembled. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you this process. I needed to work through this pad quickly because I waited until the night before the video was due to start this because I had some other things going on. Now, I finished this the morning the video was due, and then I got it all edited and got it saved and ready to upload, and my computer crashed. And so luckily I had the original footage of the video, so now I'm going back and I'm re-recording the voiceover, and I had re-editing the video so that I can finally get it out to you guys now that my computer issues are resolved. So I guess the other lesson to learn from me is don't wait until the last minute, because even though, yes, you can get it done, you never know what's going to happen. Like your computer could crash, you could lose electricity, but so don't be last minute Lenny here trying to rush to get things done. So, but I did accomplish what I originally set out to do, was that I needed to work through the pad quickly. I came up with a plan, and I did it quickly. But yeah, fate had other ideas for me on this one. So this video was due out on the 30th, and it's probably going to be, let's see, August 30th was the due date. And it's probably going to be September 7th or 8th before this actually gets posted. So just the way things happen sometimes. But hopefully you got an idea of a process, what my process is, and how maybe you can come up with a process that works for you. Maybe you already have a process that works for you. And if you do, I would love to hear that in the comments below. But I know a lot of people ask how I can kind of work through things so quickly, and sometimes I don't do it that quickly. It's just kind of the power of video, but sometimes I can do it quickly, and this is how. So now you know. All of my secrets are revealed. But I think that's all I wanted to share with you guys today, and I will let you watch the rest of this video in peace with some music. I will link all of the sketch sets in the description box below for you. And also I will link Kathy and Sarah in the description box so that they've already shared their projects, but you can go and check out what they made with their small pads this month. So hope you guys enjoy, and I will catch back up with you at the end.
There were days where we thought we wouldn't make it out, but we stuck it out. Today's our day. today's our day. There were nights we would fight, no end in sight, nothing was right. Tonight's our night. Tonight's our night. I'll fight for you until this life is over. There's no giving up here, babe. We'll make it out and fall in love tonight. Ain't nothing needed but us feeling right. Just take a chance, we got a wild ride. Wait and see, you and me, we were meant to be. We were meant to be. We were meant to be. There were times when we found it, fell back in love, the best still to come. Our time is now. Our time is now. I'll fight for you until this life is over. There's no giving up here, babe. We'll make it out and fall in love tonight. Ain't nothing needed but us feeling right. Just take a chance, we got a wild ride. Wait and see, you and me, we were meant to be. We were meant to be. We were meant to be. We were meant to be.
Here is the look at all 30 cards I made using the No Scraps sketch sets and the older My Mind's Eye pad. I think my favorite cards were the first two that I laid down with the cowboy image on the front, and then I had the hello in the gray. I really liked those. And then the one I'm getting ready to lay down right now with the hello and the bird's nest, I like that one too. I like those images, the vintage images. I just think they're really cool. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the process and got some ideas on how you could use up some of your older pads, or any pad really, and that you now kind of have an idea what my process is when I work through some of these, and can kind of come up with your own method if you need to work through something quickly. But as always, links are down below, and I thank you so very much for your time today, and I hope you all have a very crafty